Hi, I'm Simon and welcome to another vlog. I'd like to begin by thanking you guys for watching my last vlog in 3 parts. I'm very sorry that it was so long, and I think that may have affected viewing figures somewhat. I noticed that the second and third parts attracted many fewer viewers than the first part did, and I think a lot is in part to the fact that it was too long. I mean, I totally understand most people don't have half an hour to give up to watch a YouTube video and then another half hour and then another God knows how long the third part was, but it was all quite long. So thank you for those of you that did watch it, but I totally understand that it was too long for a lot of people. But I also think another problem aside from that might have been to do with YouTube. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it does it on my system with my 2 browsers that I use, Firefox and Safari. And that is, every time I load up the browser and go onto YouTube, it always defaults to the highlight setting on the front page. So it just shows me a few videos, and you'd think, and what I'd gathered was what it's supposed to do is just show you the newest videos and 1 video from each of your subscribers. But it doesn't do that. I mean, that might be quite sensible, but what it does is it then decides which things you might like to watch. And it's just crazy, because sometimes there are videos from people whose every video I watched, and they're omitted from that highlights list, so it just doesn't make any sense. So that might have had something to do with the lower viewing figures for the other parts of the episode, but I think the problem was with me and my rambling, and I'm already rambling too much as it is, so I'll shut up about that and go on to the first thing I'd like to talk about, and that is a little video, well, again, a fairly long video, but SteveBenway's Friday Talkie, and he was responding to a video, I think, and a tag, maybe an open tag video, about what things do you do outside of gaming. And I thought this was quite interesting because I don't really talk that much about my other interests. So I thought I might take a few minutes now just to tell you about, well, I'm not even going to take a few minutes. I don't have that many interests. To be honest, I'm not that interesting a kind of guy, you know. I've got a few things that I'm passionate about. Gaming is my primary interest. That's why I decided to have to set up a channel about it. Otherwise it would have been something else. But yeah, I mean, I'm really interested in mysteries, all sorts of mysteries, anything to do with ghosts or UFOs, time travel, all of these oddities that the universe has. I mean, even things like quantum physics, albeit on a very superficial level. I'm not a mathematician or a physicist, so I couldn't really understand it properly, but all of those things just grab my attention, and they always have done right from when I was a little kid. And I think it was my mum getting me interested, I think, with ghosts to begin with, and UFOs. She always used to get these Reader's Digest books, these books of the unexplained, and I used to get lost in those for hours. Even before I could read properly, I just used to get lost looking at the pictures and asking my mum questions about them. So even to this day, I'm still really interested in all of those things, any books, documentaries, yeah, I suppose anything along that line, even video games that are of that subgenre, really do capture my imagination. And it's just, I guess I have a very inquisitive mind. I was always asking questions as a child, and I'm still asking questions now as an adult. So I suppose outside of gaming, that is my next big interest, but there are other things, and I'm sure a lot of the same things that you guys are interested in as well, like movies. I love movies. I don't watch them anywhere near as much as I used to. A few years back, I was a massive movie buff, or at least for kind of Hollywood and British movies. I wouldn't say I was a connoisseur of all of the sort of foreign world cinema, but you know, I used to have quite an encyclopedic knowledge for these kind of things. I knew looking at the cover of or a picture from a movie, I knew who the actors were, who directed it, who the director of photography was, who it was written by, all that kind of stuff. But I suppose in the last 5, 6, 7, maybe longer than that, years, I've not really kept up that much with movies, but I do still enjoy them when I've got time, much like books as well. I really like novels, but I'm such a slow reader, chronically slow, that I don't get to enjoy anywhere near as many of them as I really should. What else do I like? Sport, a bit. I play a little bit of football once a week, but I'm terrible at it. You know, it's normally just, it's more like me chasing a ball rather than playing football. I also love snowboarding, but I haven't done that for a few years, and basketball, which makes me in the minority here in the UK because there's not that many people that are into basketball, and I haven't played for a long time. But, well, what else do I do rather than like? Well, I love to travel. I've been to quite a few different countries in the world. Nowhere near as many as I'd like to, but I'm a fan of... In fact, it's probably fair to say that I hate travelling, but I love being in different countries. The actual travel part of it, going on buses, trains, planes, bores me stupid. But being in different countries, experiencing the cultures, hearing the languages, tasting the food, seeing the architecture. In fact, that's something else I'm really interested in, architecture. I'm interested in design, but architecture is always something that captures me. Whenever I go to a new place, I get kind of lost in looking at the architecture. So yeah, I mean, those are my things that I enjoy doing outside of gaming. But last weekend, I did something that I think I never really wanted to do. You see, I joined a club. I joined a club that many of you guys are already a member of. I know SteveBenway is. It's this club. Yes, the marriage club. Yeah, I got married, finally. I mean, I've been with my wife. She was my girlfriend, then my fiance for a short time, now my wife. I have been with her for, over 9.5 years. So finally, I decided to make an honest woman of her. Or did she decide to make an honest man of me? I don't know. But we decided to get married. It was about 6 months ago now. We got kind of drunk, in fact very drunk, in one of the local pubs, drinking this, I don't know whether it's a local cider, but it's called Bee Sting, and it's strong. It's about 9%. And after 3 or 4 pints of that, we were both a mess. And so we decided, well, you know, why don't we get married? She'd wanted to get married for ages, and I just decided now was the time. And so, luckily, it didn't take us long to plan the wedding. I know some people fret about these kind of things, and it takes them a long time to organise the wedding, but we seem to get it all sorted out relatively quickly. Everything fell into place, and, well, have a look at these pictures here. You can see what a happy day we both had. To be honest, I think we smiled for about 6 hours straight. It was a little bit of an unusual wedding. We did it in a way that people don't normally do. It wasn't some weird ritual, but we got married on the beach, which is unusual for the UK and something that they've only just allowed people to do. And we actually had the reception the night before. In fact, we called it our preception. We invited all of our friends and family, of which we actually thought there wouldn't be that many who would come. We got it into our heads that it was going to be, the night before would be our friends from the local area, maybe a couple of friends from home coming to visit, and we'd have a small intimate meal with those people, and then the next day would be the wedding. But as it turned out, pretty much everybody we invited to the wedding decided, yeah, the Saturday night sounds like a good idea as well. And when we'd put on the invite, no children, they were like, fantastic, an excuse to get away from the kids for a couple of days. And so we ended up having about 60 people coming to the meal on the Saturday night. In fact, we started drinking Saturday afternoon, and then more drinking, and then a meal in the evening, and then on the Sunday got married, had another meal, drunk more, lots more alcohol, and yeah, by the end of it I was very happy but very tired. And so for someone like me who never wanted to get married, I would dead set, one of the first things I said to Emma when we met was, I don't want to get married. I never want to get married. I don't see the point in it. And for many years I didn't. You know, I thought I knew that I wanted to be with her, and I didn't really feel there was any need for a ceremony and all the kind of expense to have a big party to go along with it. But as it turned out, it was a fantastic day, and I'm glad that I didn't have to pay for it. So thank you to Emma's dad. I know he won't be watching this, so I don't know why I'm saying thank you as if he is, but wherever he is, thank you very much for paying for that. So it was fantastic. I would recommend it to anybody. Get married. It's a fun day. Whether the rest of it will be as much fun, I don't. Well, no, I do know it's not going to change that much. Been with the girl for 9.5 years. Hopefully for many more. So anyway, that's enough of non-gaming related stuff. Let's get on to some gaming stuff. So oh yes, something I saw just a couple of days ago that really excited me, and that was that Johnny Millennium, the HappyConsoleGamer, is putting his movie up on the internet on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's something that I've heard him talk about for the last couple of years, and I've been very interested to see what direction it had taken and what it's finally going to be like. And so he's putting it up on YouTube for free for all of us to watch. So I think that's fantastic. He could have sold it to us, and I'd already said to him ages and ages ago, when you put the pre-order date up, then I will definitely be paying for a copy of that, hopefully on Blu-ray. But I don't think he's going to be doing that. He's just going to put it out on YouTube for everyone to see. So that's kind of cool. If you like his stuff, then I'd recommend going to check out his channel on Sunday, and hopefully he'll have uploaded it, although he did say it's going to be quite a monster upload. So who knows, it's YouTube, there could be some problems. Now, one of the things that I left a little comment on his video where he just announced it, because it got me to thinking that he's been making this for 3 years, and he's been filming it in bits and pieces every weekend with friends all that time. And that means that for the sake of continuity, he has had to maintain the same appearance for that whole time. That means no growing beards or changing the colour of your hair or getting your hair cut in a different style. I mean, it's just... And, I just wonder how frustrating that must have been, because I'm kind of someone who likes to change how I look a little bit. Obviously you guys have only known me for a year, but going back over the years, I've had many different styles, hairstyles, facial hair. Yes, I did have a goatee beard for a while, but that was something that Emma hated, so that didn't last very long. Well, at least not while I was with her, or have been, since I have been with her. But yeah, there's something I've wanted to do, and because of the wedding, I haven't been able to do it. I've said, I'm not going to. I'm gonna try and look my best for the wedding, but in fact, I'm gonna go and do it now. I'll be back in a second.